Right, Leon Jennings here from Asian Persuasion MMA. I'm here with Thanh Lee, who challenges Martin Nguyen this or next weekend at 1 inside the Matrix. Thanh, thanks for joining us. You've made the journey to Singapore. How was that journey?
Oh, trip was great. Every time we fight on this side of the world, it's always an adventure, and we take it in stride, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited.
How different was it to normal, the journey with restrictions and protocols?
Very different. Basically, getting straight out of the airport and being escorted, straight to the hotel room where we're quarantining now, and then for 48 hours, and then we should be able to leave the room and get some training in and kind of get on schedule with that. Yeah, everything's been good though. The hotel is beautiful. The what I've seen of Singapore is beautiful. And the meals are great, so I can't complain.
You're just counting down the time to the 48 hours is up.
Yeah, just a bunch of TV, Xbox, some Warzone, and some Netflix.
This fight was supposed to go down in May originally. Obviously, the world's gone pretty crazy since then. Did you think it was going to happen this year after all the restrictions were in place, the travel bans?
I've always been pretty hopeful that we were able to really get this fight going again. There was a lot of hype behind it. It seemed to be obviously a really exciting matchup for the fans and for the company. So finally being able to narrow down a date, and a venue, obviously, and we're a week and a half away, so it's exciting.
How's the whole restrictions and everything have had an impact on your training, not just in the fight camp, throughout the last 6-7 months?
To be honest with you, I train year round. I don't really, tone down training in between camps or anything like that. So I keep my training pretty frequent, and we stay in the gym for a good amount of time. But obviously during this, it was a little tougher. For my usual camps, we do a lot of traveling and we do a lot of bringing people in. But during the times where everybody was quarantined and kind of on lockdown, the team I have at home at Mid City MMA and Moon College Taekwondo, we pretty much have a small, tight knit group of guys that are pretty loyal and very dedicated. So I didn't miss a beat with training at all. Honestly, I can't look back and say we even missed a session. We continued on our training. We kept the group small. We tried to keep it as safe as humanly possible. And obviously the gyms were closed down and things. So I have access to my gym, obviously. So we were able to go in, try to keep it as clean and protected as possible, and limit our exposure with the group of guys that did come in and train with us. Everybody pretty much made a pact and made sure that we got tested regularly. We stayed away from people that were outside of the circle, and it worked out well. Everybody's negative, no crazy outbreaks or anything like that within our training group. So it's been great.
Looked like you had some fun with it as well. Some little videos you posted, especially early on during the restrictions and the lockdown.
Yeah, you got to stay busy and not go crazy. But instead of doing some of the other activities that we do besides training, obviously I always like to spend. Anybody that knows me knows I like to spend a lot of time with my family. So pretty much at my house, at my parents' house, and with my brother and my main training partners and things like that. It's stay busy, stay creative, have a lot of fun. That's pretty much been my entire life since I can remember. So.
Other than the quarantine for 48 hours and the other little bits, how does it affect? I think you've only got one man in your corner this next week because of the restrictions.
I do have two.
You've got two.
Yep. So I have my brother, Vin Lee, and my head coach, Sean Gayton from Mid City MMA. So they're both here with me. Obviously, everybody's in separate rooms quarantining, but I've got those guys here, and everybody gets two cornermen. So we're ready to go.
Brilliant. So far, one. You've competed for less than 5 minutes, beating three tough guys. How big a step up though is Martin compared to your last three opponents?
I tell you what, Martin's a champion for a reason. Obviously, he's got a great team. He's a smart fighter. He's a great fighter, experienced. But the guys that I fought are no chumps. You know, they belong at the top of the lists in the divisions that they're in. So, you know, very good guys, skilled guys. But obviously, there's a step up to this guy that I'm fighting next with a big C next to his name, right? He's got the belt for a reason. He's beaten a lot of tough guys. So it's so exciting to be able to face top level talent, the best guys in the world. And that's why I joined this sport. That's why I decided to dedicate my life to the sport, is to prove to myself and my family that, you know, I have what it takes to be at the top and be the best in the world. And that's what we're going to do here.
Do you see any weaknesses in his game?
So, you know, Martin's very, very well rounded. I wouldn't say we're pointing out weaknesses in his game. We're just pointing out and focusing on our skills gap in certain areas, right? So Martin does a really good job of countering. He does a really good job with it, timing and distancing. He does a really good job of putting the pressure on when he needs to. And I think he's going to have a hard time being the normal Martin Nguyen that you normally see, because of my movement, because of my fight IQ, because of my feet that are under me that can, you know, maintain the distance and range, close the gap quickly when I want to. And, you know, we've got a couple surprises for him too. So.
I mean, you're fighting on a stacked card, 4 title fights, 2 other fun fights. I would say that your fight's probably the fight most people are looking forward to most, when the biggest hype is. Have you sensed that as well?
I mean, yes, the answer is yes, but you know, you kind of usually suspect that because it's my fight. I'm always paying attention to the hype on that, right? But no, man, I think this makes for a really, really crazy fight, an exciting fight. I think it's gonna be fireworks, and I don't think it's getting out to a decision. Somebody's going to sleep. Uh, Obviously, our goal is to make it him and not us, but we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, it's a stacked card. I'm really honored and really grateful to be able to fight on a card with all these great fighters. Um, but yeah, it seems to be the most hyped fight, the most momentum behind it, the most kind of like rumblings in the background about our fight. And it's really cool to be able to put on a great show for the fans. I know Martin wants to do the same, and obviously I like to go out there and put people to sleep as well. So we'll see what happens.
We kind of answered my last question there. How does the fight go? Obviously, you're predicting a finish, but how do you see it going up to the
I
finish?
Yeah, I see it playing out very typically. Yeah, just like how you would think. You know, I think Martin's going to be calculated. He's going to be calm. He's going to be, you know, measured, just like he always is. And I'm going to be doing a lot of movement, doing a lot of playing my games, layering my games, and really running him into a lot of my traps. So I think it's going to be a really, really intelligent striking match until you know, I think eventually he's going to turn into a grappler once he sees my feet and the way I strike. And, you know, I don't think he's going to get a good beat on my movement and how to counter that. So, and then, you know, after that, I think come fourth or fifth round, he's going to end up really reaching and really hanging on to that belt, because he's not going to go out and just kind of sit back and let me take his belt by decision. He's going to come out, and if he sees himself behind on the scorecards, I think he's going to make a big move like he should, and bring the heat and really, really try to get the finish. And I think that's going to get him knocked out.
We can't wait. I speak on behalf of all the fans as well. This one, it's going to be epic.
I'm excited.
Thank you. Enjoy, if you can, the rest of the quarantine, and have a good fight week leading up to
Absolutely.
fight night.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having
Cheers.
me on.
Thank you.